Hello and welcome back to Genshin Impact. Today we're gonna do this road quest. It unlocked a couple days ago when I did a daily commission. So let's see what it is. So this is the structure I have in mind this time. The supremely skilled ninja uses all sorts of abilities to infiltrate the enemy fortress and retrieve the required intel in secret. And how many abilities are you gonna give this ninja this time? That might depend on the situation. Right. So you haven't thought about it then. I mean, it's fine. I mean, if you lock down all the narrative devices ahead of time, there's nowhere to adapt from there, is there? Oh, here you go again. If you had these devices locked in beforehand, your writing wouldn't go all over the shop. I have my own creative methods, alright? The story should put its narrative first. How can it be shackled by these devices? That's just irresponsible. What are you two arguing about? Oh, it's you. I was just thinking about to structure a novel about a ninja. But Shigeru's criticizing the structures that I came up with again. I'm not saying that what you've come up with is bad per se. I'm just asking you to put your narrative devices in place before you start writing. No, I'm not going to list them all down and structure the narrative around them. That's just too staid. The narrative is the most important thing in the novel, which everything else revolves around, even the setting and the narrative devices. Let's call a halt to this real quick, shall we? Forget it. You're not going to listen to me anyway. I'm sticking to my creative principles no matter what you say. You know what, Traveler? Since you're here, why don't you be the judge? And I am supposed to read his novel right here and now? No. You just need to listen to Junkichi tell us the structure of this new narrative passage he's dreamed up. After that, just use your judgment and think about how this ninja would act. That way, Junkichi should get the feedback he needs about what happens when he just writes his story willy-nilly. Sure. Well, Traveler, we're counting on you. I'll narrate the story for you. Just act according to what you think is natural. Let it show Shigeru how awesome a story unbound by these narrative devices can be. This creativity business sure is tiring. Well, let's begin, Traveler. So, as I was writing, this ninja is entering the enemy fortress solo, preparing to steal critical intelligence. Traveler, are you ready to play the stealthy ninja? Having made all the necessary preparations, the ninja infiltrates the fortress stealthily. Huh. The ninja, being very vigilant, scouts the area thoroughly before. They really should have that shit last a bit longer so you got time to fucking read it. After infiltrating the fortress, the ninja prepares to initiate the operation. Really? The ninja discovers guards ahead. The broken wood planks must be alerted the enemy. The ninja decides something.
Shine down. My blade. Shadows of fate.
And failing that, then defeating them is still an option. See, I didn't know what he fucking said. Apparently I was supposed to sneak around. Yet another tightly locked room lies ahead, but the ninja discovered. Because we shan't leave empty-handed. I must say that your searching skills are like that of a vigilant. I'm just killing everybody here. Wait, what are you doing here? Oh, I guess I could just write the ninja checks his surrounding. Maybe the ninja can also look for a few other trinkets while he's at it. Well, I didn't write his character to be like that. That tells me there's probably something around here. But apparently I wasn't supposed to come in here either. Yeah, I'm not finding any loot. Something just opened. Guess it wasn't down here. So what just opened? Oh, the ladder came down. Next room is full of treasure, but the ninja is unmoved. He is a true professional. No, I'm not. Hey, that treasure chest is empty too. Really, come on, please. Can you just follow my outline? I already said there's nothing inside. I haven't finished thinking yet. Oh, never mind. Man. This should be where the intel is. The ninja decides to check the fake tree. So it's there that we're supposed to go to. But there's a hole down here. I want to check that first. There might be a loot in here somewhere. Okay.
See no more. Solidify.
Shine down.
How's this?
Delve into destiny. Written in the stars.
Orders guide you. Finally,
Don't look to be anything down here. Okay, it looks like it's best to just follow his story. I don't know what that said. Now he can return to make his report. If I might interrupt. Come on, the ninja's actions have been discovered by the enemy.
There is no escape. Let me scribe. Inazuma shines eternal.
fall before me. Cut it over.
Well, why do I have to write the ninja as being this good at fighting? The ninja gazes up the foes. He's defeated. It really is time to leave now. No loot? Now I want to go through this stealthily. I could Alt F4 and do it in stealth, can't I? Does that work? Pressing escape instead. Alright, that's a wrap. I've never been this tired. Was this story always that complicated? That's what you get when you don't decide on things early. Without narrative devices to restrain you, the various elements just clash wildly against each other. When that happens, you end up losing control of the plot altogether. You'd exhaust yourself no matter what you were writing. Alright. Got no strength left to argue with you. Traveler, thanks for your judgment. think I've gained a lot from this. Take this as a token of my thanks. I'll get to writing again shortly. Narrative devices or narrative? Which is more important? Well, at least it ended. Well, that honestly, I really wish the chat that wasn't voiced or a part of a dialogue scene or something where you know you have to keep clicking to go to the next one. Stayed a bit longer. Okay, let's see. There's a quest over here that I want to check out. Greetings, Jaryuma. Would you perhaps be at leisure to discuss a few matters? I don't mean to disturb you, but this matter is quite important. Her Excellency, the Divine Priestess, specifically said that you must be sought out for this task. Well, what's the matter then? Thanks to your aid, we were able to turn what was a disadvantaged battle with the Shogunate around. As things stand, we should generally trend towards a lasting peace for now. We won back the peace, saw the Vision Hut decree abolished, and the commission that exploited us have been knocked off their perches. Our Omakami's bones have now found rest as well. This is all thanks to you. Please allow me to thank you once again on that account. And yet, the remaining Fatui have not given up their surveys on Yashiro Island. This, even though they lost one harbinger in the conflict, and the other has gone missing. So they're still at it, huh? Watatsubi Island has been under an information blackout for a long time, and you could say that this and the war at large was how we came into contact with them. An awful way to make first contact, if you ask me. Seems that they had intended to drag this war out as long as possible while fanning the flames of vengeance among the people on both sides, thus increasing the intensity of the war. Between them and the Shogun's army, I'd say that they are a more dangerous foe by far. If the war had dragged on, it would have resulted in even more serious economic hardship and social unrest. I imagine that would have given the Fatui even greater openings to increase their influence. Thankfully, Her Excellency, the Divine Priestess, discovered their plot in time, and with the valiant support of yourself and many other warriors, we were able to thwart that plot. What do you need me to do? According to our intel, there are some Shogunate forces remaining on Yashiro Island who were heavily infiltrated by the Fatui. They're currently gathering information and plotting something, though we don't know what exactly. We originally didn't intend to ask you to do this, but the Divine Priestess believes you to be the safest choice for the personnel when it comes to solving this matter. So please, come with me to the final resting place of our Amakami and help me search for those people. However, let me first attempt to dissuade them with words. If they still attempt to stir up trouble and will not repent for their actions, then you shall have to speak with your sword. That's simple? Oh, you find it simple? I suppose I should have expected that much of you. Perhaps it shall be a simple matter for you after all. The only issue, however, is that, well, you might be a little too famous. Our foes might recognize you on sight, but we don't have a lot of time to prepare any contingencies either. I have this. What pedestrian camouflage. I say that, but for some reason, I almost didn't recognize you either. It really has a very different feel, compared to what one would expect from Jaryuma, Captain the Swordfish 2, I mean. Well then, let's do this. Tell me once you're ready and we'll set out. Shouldn't I change my clothes too? I think the clothes is more of a giveaway than my face. Halt, commoners. This land is under Shogunate jurisdiction. Uninvolved personnel should leave immediately. Commoners, I am Shizuru, a special envoy of Sanganamiya, and I am here to survey the state of our great Amakami's final resting place. Did your superiors not inform you of my arrival? Sanganamiya's people? I've never heard of any such announcement. Please, leave immediately. I believe this to contravene our previous ceasefire agreement, Sir Samurai. Please report your name. such that I may report your lack of courtesy to your superiors. My apologies, but I doubt that will be necessary, lady from Sagadamiya. I'm warning you again. Don't come any closer to the cavern. If you continue provoking us, I doubt the crime of breaking the ceasefire is one that may be borne by an ordinary person. Indeed, the crime of breaking the ceasefire is not one that ordinary people can bear, and that is why I hope that you will cease blaspheming a god's divine form and leave our Amakami to his marty red rest in an orderly and safe manner. Ha! Divine form? Marty red rest? That's right. We've given you ample time to leave this place in an organized fashion. Ha! Watatsumi folks sure know how to tell a joke. Is this why you fought? For a dead god? Please. Your great serpent has long become shiny rocks in a cave for us to forge into swords. You bowed down to that great serpent in the past. Now you bow down to the swords forged from its bones. Pretty similar fates, don't you think? Do watch your words, samurai. You didn't want us to submit to the shogun, and we allowed you to make that choice, didn't we? Wouldn't it have been nice to you, living as loyal common subjects? It was the shogun's mercy that permitted your survival, and you repay her graciousness with rebellion against the shogunate. Do you really think that this temporary rebellion of yours will come to a good end? Whoa now, look what you've done. You've overturned the Vision Hunt decree. Wonderful. How many livelihoods have you stolen in the process? How many sources of tax revenue? How are we going to eat, huh? If Lord Hirage hadn't been dismissed on your account, we samurai wouldn't even be in this dump right now. Why am I even telling you all this anyway? You poor hillbillies don't even have the foggiest idea of what's what. Whatever. The very sight of you pisses me off. Now scram. Unless you really want to start something, of course. Lord Hirage, you say? Haha, don't worry. As I said, I'm not here to contravene the ceasefire. Rather, I'm here on orders from our divine priestess to eliminate those who plot to disrupt the peace. Jaryuma, you may take them out now. But, this is our man. Subdue him first. So we're being attacked.
Stabilize.
Delve into destiny.
Where is he?
Battle formation. Soldiers, quick. Stabilize.
Shine down.
I don't want to use my ultimate because he's going to show up at any point now.
Teach me a lesson. I will have order.
Illusion shattered. Delve into depth.
There we go. Read the note he left behind. These seem to be sheets of paper torn from a ledger of accounts. Neat notes have been written upon them, the contents of which are a survey of the Jakatsu mine. Most of the material here is related to distribution of minerals, the feasibility of industrial production, and the possibility of establishing an outpost in this location. Other than that, there are notes regarding the electoral wards left by the Radiant Shogun, the possible effects should the sealed remains of a god be released, with an attached addendum, an observational report of the afflicted in Higi village. The final section details the completion of a special operation. The whole report has been signed as left by a Fatui by the name of Nason. There are some finer notes on one corner of the page. Prospective recruits who retrieve this report should head to the port on the island's eastern edge with all haste to rendezvous with your intelligence officer contact. The password is, that's a killer joke. So the samurais were with the Fatui. It's as Her Excellency Divine Princess said, dogs with no bite bark the loudest. That one was there plenty of time. Okay, I got to go way over there now. Hey, I've had it going on there quite a bit for, daily commissions. Try to avoid those guys there, even though I'm certain they're gonna attack. This must be Nathan. Halt, commoners. Please leave this place. It's for your own safety. Man, at least he's nice about it. I apologize, but we are not commoners. We have come here with a specific purpose. That is to meet with our Fatui intelligence contact. I have no idea what you're talking about. This is private property. Please, do not speak to us any further. Wearing these extravagant clothes, arming yourselves with weapons that neither agree with the shogunate or blend with Saga no Miya. In a terrible hurry and with malicious gleams in your eyes. You should probably pay a little more attention to your arts of disguise. Excuse me, did I look like I was joking just now? Alright, if you're not joking, then I shan't either. We came from the Jakotsu mine. Jaryuma, show 'em proof of our intent. That's a killer joke. Well, welcome to the Fatui. I'm your contact, Naval Warrant Officer Borenka. But that'll be sir to you both from now on. Got it? They told me that some dismissed, unsalaried, disgruntled elements of the Kanjo Commission would soon retrieve the items we wanted. But I really wasn't expecting just you two. I was led to believe that there'd be more people. Just a very impolite shrine maiden and an outlander? No samurai amongst you? Well, if nothing else, I guess that Hiragai Shinsuke has eclectic employment habits. It might be a long story, sir. We experienced a certain change of management. Let us just say I'm sure you understand that such sordid affairs tend to end with some people finding new employment, while others might find themselves making new bedfellows with the fishes. Sir. You've got a point. Not that I care what happened to you beforehand anyway. I just need the results. Speaking of which, Nathan's report please. Then get on board. These are simple orders. Ones I'm sure you will have no trouble seeing through. Yes? Here's the report, sir. Very good. Well then, you're done here. Any further questions? Will we have any further missions, sir? That's none of my business. I'm just in charge of shipping you two back to Snezhnaya. What comes next is all up to our superiors. And there's been nothing from them so far, sir? What's that got to do with you? That's true, sir. Any imminent deadline on playing house? Give me a moment. I want to see how much longer I can get. I'm still here, you know. What are you two going on about? My apologies, but there's still a lot we don't understand regarding the missions we might have to undertake in the future. Could you please explain at least a little of it to us, sir? I don't have to explain my orders. You can carry them out, or you can carry them out after I whip some sense into you. Sorry, I don't think you heard me right. Let's try this again. Could you kindly tell us every last thing you know about anything? Are you forgetting something here, recruit? Oh, you needn't fret about my memory. On the contrary, I've memorized everything you said quite well indeed, and I think I could say the same for this Saga no Miya officer with me. Oh, I do have the mask on. Saga no Miya? I knew you were. Yes, a very impressive deduction. Shame. I've just about had enough of your balderdash. Your clandestine operations on Yashiro Island, your incitement of radical elements within Watatsumi Island, the crime of destroying the wards, your soliciting of masterless samurai, plus your previous humiliation of a shrine maiden of Saga no Miya. I faithfully recorded them all. The first few issues will be filed under our foreign relations memorandums. But as for the last problem, I hope you can take personal responsibility for that. Sir. I mean, I did warn you from the start. You should really have paid a little more attention to your arts of disguise. Take him out, Jaryuma. To your station, you worthless Inazuma recruits. Make ready for combat.
Shadows of fate. Fate is upon you.
Out of my way, you useless slugs. I'll be back once I down a bottle of fire water.
Order guide you. Stabilize.
Let me scry.
Can't run from death. I will have order.
Now you shall perish. Out of my sight. Winter shall eventually.
Tried made it a new outlet. Do you really think you could escape the rest of Snaya? Cease your dribble. You could save it for Saga to be as fish, sir. How interesting. They were willing to get rid of everyone who even knew of this incident? Is this the sort of organization we're dealing with in the Fatui? There's nothing interesting about this. Really? I find all Outlanders who think differently from us quite fascinating. It's just that some are the good kind of interesting, others not so much. In any case, allow me to thank you for taking the time out to help our Divine Priestess with this task. We now have all we need to prove our case against this nation. Our battle against the Fatui, at least in this matter, can be said to have been concluded. What happened to Nason anyway? That fellow claimed to be a Mondstadter, and that might even be true. Perhaps he is a Fatus from Mondstadt. I would consider him the epitome of why the Fatui are frightening foes. They eschew conventional warfare instead, shrewdly using internal division to sow chaos and reap the reward in the process. They know that our greatest obstacles come from within. As much as we'd like to suppress it, the flame of vengeance will not dissipate so simply. So this nascent fellow disguised himself as a fellow freedom fighter, armed with slogans that were easy to identify with. It was an ice-cold heart with which he pushed our most radical groups onto a path from which there was no returning. And he got away too. Well, or so we'd planned. At least he had been punished for his crimes, though if you ask me, being hurled into a lightless cell is too good for someone like him. Those people on Yashiro Island. Yes, and them too. You saw Nason's reports. The inhabitants of the island were nothing but simple data points in his eyes. That disaster, I must confess that it has utterly disrupted our Divine Priestess's plans and put us on an inexorable path to conflict escalation. But somehow we were able to win back the people's hearts and secure peace. Those of us who survived did not fail to live up to the wishes of those who gave their lives. We must now scrabble our way back to the solid ground and begin to make amends for these losses. War is a river of bitter tears no ship can hope to ford, and its waves rage even hither and thither in a swirl of utter discord. This is the line in one of our songs here in Watatsumi. It is perhaps for this reason that our Divine Priestess dislikes war. It's a shame that kid Tepe did not have the fortune to see this new day come to pass. What a shame. In any case, I don't doubt that the Fatui will try to check on this lost outpost again, but I do doubt that they'll try to mess with us rashly anytime soon. But I'll defer to our Divine Priestess judgment on these matters. Anyway, enough of the sad stuff. That's the Fatui remnants cleaned up. Yes, you know what? I know of a good place for some grilled unagi. If you got the time, we can go give it a try. Well, how about it, sir? I should have grabbed that note first. Oh, damn it. Now I'll never know what it said. Well, that fucking sucks. Oh well. I'm gonna call this one here though. If you watch this, thanks for watching. And I hope you all have wonderful lives. Peace.